Okay, nerds, welcome back to another vintage video, and today is Modern Horizons 3 day. So we're playing Dredge in the challenge, and we're playing this list, which is coming from viewer Fancy Panda. So this is a list they came up with. We've done a couple of slight changes, but basically they've got a tournament coming up, so we thought we'd give it a run through the challenge for them as well. So the main addition that we've got now that MH3 is out is Flare of Denial. So sacrifice a non-token blue creature instead of paying its mana cost, and we can counter target spell. So we've got 8 of those non-token blue creatures, Narcomoebas and Amalgams, and they come back with some regularity. So maybe we can get like a 1-card counter spell, right? Usually for most people, sacrificing a non-token creature is quite a cost, but for us, it's not too bad, right? Especially when we're a deck that needs to operate through hate and everything like that. If we can counter a hate piece, that'll be very good. Complementing that, I've got 4 Force of Wills and 1 Force of Negation, plus Misstep and Chalice. So we've got quite a high blue count as well. That's like, what, 18 blue cards and 17 blue cards? Which for Dredge is quite a high blue count, I think. On from there, we've got the 4 Grief, and we're on 2 Therapy and 2 Bridges for this build. So, yeah, so the Flares, they will also trigger our Bridge from Belows. Our Therapies will be Bridge from Belows. We'll make Bridge from Below tokens, and our Icarids will make Bridge from Below tokens. So that's all very nice. Yeah, we're on 3 Thugs, and then 4 of the other 2, plus a Troll for 12 Dredgers. And then post-board, we've got another new card in Flare of Malice. So sacrifice a non-token black creature, which can be Grief or Icarid or Amalgam. And each opponent sacrifices the creature with the greatest mana value they control. So that's going to... The big exciting thing that this does is it kills a Serra's Emissary, and it kills an Atraxa. Right, so that seems pretty good for us as well, to be killing those cards. So that's nice, but it's not a lot to kill like Jailers and Containment Priests. So we've still got a couple of Sickening Shoals, 4 Vigors as you would expect, a couple of Wastelands, and then 4 Ley Lines. This is post-Bauble era, so we'll see how that goes. Free spells are obviously tough into Vexing Baubles on the play, and we are in a new world where if your opponent goes turn 0 Ley Line, turn 1 Vexing Bauble, you are just locked out of the game if you don't have a Force of Vigor or a Force of Will or something to get through that Ley Line first. So new world, and we'll see how we get on. Yesterday's challenge was a lot of Shops and Bug, which typically Bazaar struggles against, but hopefully we can come up with something whilst we test these new cool cards. I'll see you down there for round 1. Okay, round 1, we're up against Mago, who most recently on Mono White has been a dual gamer in the past. Has powdered though, so Dredge. Triple Hollow on. We've got just regular mulligan. Round 1 Dredge Mirror. Now we'll go to 5. Now we'll powder. We'll put a Chill and a Grief on the bottom. Maybe that's the wrong order actually. I'll put Chill and... again, wrong order. How do I want to do this? I'll put Icarid and Chill on the bottom, although the Icarid's a bit questionable. Now we're to 4. Now to less than that. And we'll keep this. Opponent's kept 7. We've kept 3. Don't need Misstep. Don't need Powder. Don't need Therapy. Don't need Amalgam. Yeah, looks good to me. We're on the draw on a mulligan to 3 in a mirror match. Seems tough. Seems tough. So opponent's 7. Do we keep all the bridges? Yeah, that's nice. So Icarid, Amalgam, Shambling Shell. So they've got a crap Dredger, which is good for us. But they have got a turn 2 Icarid. We'll activate. And we'll discard the good cards. So our graveyard's interesting at the moment. Well, it's not really. Let's get their graveyard out. Oh god. So they chill me, and then they discard some cards, and then we see whether they eat an amalgam or not. I don't really like Dredge Mirrors that much. They've got a bridge, a thug, and a therapy. What did we have? We had an Icarid. So they eat an Icarid, right? Yeah, Icarid eating Icarid, triggering amalgam. Nothing else. You got the second Bazaar over there, buddy? No. We go to 14, but we've got good dredgers going into our turn. They get a bridge token though. Not ideal. So, oh, they're therapying me. Okay. Can't imagine they're naming Flare of Denial or Creeping Chill. Probably naming Noxious. Well, Noxious would have been played by now. I feel like we would have spoken up if we had a Noxious. Let's get rid of their graveyard. I'm bored of it. They name Force of Will. Okay. Don't know what you think I'm countering at this stage in the game, but okay. So our turn, and our record triggers. So we'll just go there with the Golgari Grave Troll. That's a Narcomoeba, and triple Amalgam, and Stinkweed Imp. So get rid of the bad cards, keep the good cards. And now we've got a counterspell up. So turn 2, we have this dude open, this Flare of Denial open. We will chill the opponent back to 20, and Icarid's going to be a Shambling Shell. I can't imagine that's doing a lot of work for us here. I'll dredge a Grave Troll, and that's going to do it for now. We may as well attack. We're going to get to eat their bridge and then make a token. That was a good activation from us. Because this triple amalgam is going to look thick. They're just going to trade off the zombie. So we need to stack our bridge trigger correctly. Opponent. Their bridge dies, we get a token, our bridge dies. No one's got any bridges. This is a spot where it's awkward that we've only got 2 bridges in our list. But I don't think... Well, no, that can absolutely matter. That can absolutely matter. So let's see how they do. Obviously they're on the play, so they've got... They ate an Icarid earlier, so they've only got 1 Icarid this turn. They exiled 1 to their powder early doors. So Narcomoeba plus Creeping Chill, Creeping Chill. That's another therapy that they're going to get. They've missed on bridges so far, but double chill is certainly something. Narcomoeba's going to resolve. Icarid's going to pop into play, and then they've got a Stinkweed Imp left over to dredge. I'm going to get rid of their exile pile, sorry, and then they've just found a Grave Troll. But having Grave Troll in our little mulligan was pretty big tech, to be honest. So they don't have an amalgam. How many chills have they used? All of them. 1, 2, 3. So they've got 1 chill left. I've got 1, 2. I've got 2 chills left. So I make like an effective 17. So I can trade with amalgam, and I don't think it's coming back this turn. Yeah, I think I might do that. Actually, that looks horrible. I'll just take 6. They've only got 1 Icarid. I've got more than 1 Icarid. So Stinkweed Imp, Golgari Thug. That's one of my chills, and another Narcomoeba. Yes, I'd love a Narcomoeba. Yes, I'd love to chill you. Icarid's going to be Shambling Shell. Icarid's going to be Golgari Thug. Dredge a Grave Troll. Chill our opponent again. We're back to 11. And I hit a bridge from below. So if I just send, they're going to attack me with just one Icarid next turn, plus this amalgam. So I can probably send the squad. Alright. So if I send everyone, they block Narcomoeba on amalgam. My bridge dies and I have nothing left. Yeah, so maybe I wanted to therapy before attacks. They've got one chill left, they're attacking me for 9 maximum next turn. So I need to do my damage now. Right, we've seen 3 chills. 1, 2, 3. We've seen all 4 of mine now. 1, 2, 3, yeah. But I've got all the creatures, their creatures are tapped. I take 9 next turn. How much damage is this? 3, 12, 14, 15, 16. I've got to imagine this is fine. I've got to imagine this is fine. And I get a zombie back anyway. Oh no, I don't get a zombie back because of this block. Okay, well, never mind. You go to 4. I don't really care about therapying them, do I? Doesn't do anything. My Icarids die. They've got 1 Icarid. Got 1 Icarid, 1 chill, 1 amalgam. They're at 4. Double bridge from below is quite fucked up there, actually. So they've got an extra bridge on top of us. That means and then if they try and therapy me, if they put a spell on the stack, we get to blow out their bridges. I cannot imagine they're putting a spell on the stack. They dredge their troll. So this dies into 2 creatures. I just still go around you, right? You're still exceptionally dead on board. Yeah, because now I get to sacrifice a non-blue token creature and you get no zombies back. Taste it. Nice. So we should win this now. Yeah. Flare of Denial. Clutch. That was fun. What do we need then? These cards. And these cards. Flare of Malice is funny just to fight their additional bridge. This is bad. This is likely bad. Flare of Malice, yeah. Forces are traditionally bad. 4 cuts from here. I think I'm less on board with the therapies. I'm pretty sure these Flare of Denials are supposed to go, aren't they? What if we just trim one of those, the 2 therapies? We could just actually cut the griefs. 1 grief can go. We're going to keep 2 Flare of Denials to protect our ley line with. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, protect our ley line with. We can't protect our vigor with it though. So let's actually just get the grief back in here. Sorry. Give me a grief. Give me a single flare then. I want to play the new cards. So what have we got going on here? Double ley line isn't very good. Wasteland, triple narc. I've seen better hands. This is not one of them. So powder this. And I'm going to keep chill at the bottom of the deck. We've got Bazaar, no interaction. Opponent's got no leyline either. So they're on 7 though. Seems unfortunate. They activate, and then they discard Cabal Therapy, Powder, and they've got a hollow on. And then it just comes back to us. I've got a Flare of Denial. Whoop whoop. Bang on time leyline. So we've got to pitch Shambling Shell here. I will just pitch an Amalgam, I think. The reason I'm pitching the Amalgam is it gets my Flare back online when I get Wastelanded next turn. Not that my Flare is particularly good. So they activate. Do they hit Dredger this time around? Yes, Stinkweed Imp and Shambling Shell. So we need to fade Wasteland this turn. They've got a second Bazaar. That's problematic. That's very problematic. So Creeping Chill and Narcomoeba and half their deck. Okay, so we're probably going to lose this one. We are actually untapping with a Bazaar though, aren't we? So almost assuredly punted last turn with that Amalgam discard versus the Icarid discard, but what are you going to do? That second Bazaar activation might just be a bit too much for us. Double Amalgam as well. Alright, so let's pop the graveyard out for you. So Shambling Shell into Shambling Shell. Discarding Amalgam, Icarid, Shambling Shell. Stack some triggers. Yes, please. Yes, please. And then we'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. And then we will wasteland one of your Bazaar of Baghdad's. When we get back double Amalgam, they've got double Amalgam. They've got Icarid. They've got a Therapy already. They hit Chill, so they might, if they Icarid us, or if they Therapy us, then we might have to run the same thing as last time, right? And then I get zombie tokens and you don't get zombie tokens. Amalgam triggers. We might just be a bit too far behind here. But I thought that last game as well, you know. So in Bazaar we shall trust. Another couple of Amalgam triggers. Did they take their bridges out? So let's block Hollow one. We get a zombie token after taking 10. Then they stack everything. And all our creatures die and their creatures come back. And our bridge dies as well. Is what I mean by all of our creatures die. So it's our turn and we've got to try and come up with something here. So we'll dredge a Thug. And then a Stinkweed Imp. Hit nothing at all. Is this real life? Let's dredge Stinkweed Imp this time. My graveyard is in an awful place, sorry. Let's dredge Stinkweed Imp this time. And oh, I ate Stinkweed Imp. That was smart of me. Let's dredge Stinkweed Imp now. So Narcomoeba Creeping Chill. Takes me up to 6. I don't know if that's enough though. Icarid, what are they at? They're at 20. They've got infinite blockers. I've got no bridges. Interesting that they took their bridges out. That's like the best card in Baghdad Mirrors. So I'm at 6. They've got triple Icarid and we're dead. Okay, cool. Two Bazaars. So they kept Therapy, but they dropped Bridge from Below. That's not something I can comprehend right now. Let's go down to game 2 then. Oh, game 3, sorry. So I'd like to play first, and I'd like a Bazaar on 7. Okay, well, get wrecked, I guess. So that's not very good. Bazaar, Revival, Strip. This is gonna do nicely. Let's keep this. Let's bottom Powder, and then I guess Thug. No, put Powder Shell. No ley line from the opponent, which is pretty good manners. Where's the stack down there? I'm going to do 2 Thugs and a Vigor. Cast a Hollow One. And Noxious Revival is a nice little piece of interaction. Wasteland's a nice little piece of interaction. And it's really going to depend on how this turn plays out as to how we activate next turn. They've obviously got a Bazaar. We knew that. Was that 3 Bazaar on 7s from the opponent? Kind of feels like cheating. Oh, no, went to 6. Okay, I'll let them off. So, Thug and Amalgam. Hollow one, Hollow one. We should be able to overcome that. Unless they've got a second Bazaar of Baghdad in hand. So we're just going to take a draw step, but by that I mean we're going to dredge this Thug here. Hit nothing of note. Now let's activate Bazaar. Thug. And a miss. Oh, Stink Freedom's nice though. So that's all gravy. And now we'll Wasteland them. And pray for no second Bazaar. I'm happy just to pass the turn here. Upkeep, I'm going to top their Thug, I think. Yeah, I've got dredges, they haven't got dredges. So that happens. They draw a Thug for the turn, they have a Wasteland. Which is not ideal, but it's okay, I think, because I've got dredges in my graveyard and they haven't. So I'm ahead, right? I think they probably have to attack, but I don't know if it's good. So like the trade there of Wasteland for Bazaar and Noxious for Thug, I think it doesn't look great on the surface when your opponent's got twice as many hollow ones as you. But if the board state changes, if the board state stays as it is, right, where neither of us draw Bazaar for the rest of the game, I'm going to win. So they're going to come in with the hollow ones. I'm going to block one of them. I don't have a bridge at the moment. They don't have a bridge at the moment. It's my turn. Dredge step, I get a Stinkweed Imp, I think, is my best one, yep. That's a Narcomoeba. And I did find an Icarid there. They found nothing. They're going to hit me for 4. That's fine. I'm just going to take 4. No. I'll take 4. I've got chills in my deck too. Icarid's going to trigger. We're going to eat a Grief. Then we're going to dredge a Stinkweed Imp. And we hit 2 chills. Yeah, perfect. Any bridges for the home team? No, seems largely unfair to not hit a bridge there, but we'll attack the opponent to 10. At the moment we're cruising until they play a Bazaar of Baghdad. They're on draw steps, so they've got better routes to Bazaar than we have. That's just a strip mine. We go back down to 12. I get 2 Icarids into play. eating a shell and a grief, dredging a thug. Sorry, I should pop this out. Apparently I'm struggling today. So continues to have no bridges. We did hit a grave troll there. So in for 7, opponent goes down to 3. Opponent's exceptionally dead on my next turn. Unless they come up with something, but I don't know what they can come up with here. Out of like a normal dredge list, they can come up with an attack for 4 if they want. That's not doing a lot, is it? No, but you also can't block 2 Icarids, bro. So I'm going to eat grief. I'm going to eat the thug. I've got a grave troll chilling out there. So grave troll's going to go away. And yeah, just using Noxious and Strip Mine there in the mid game just completely neutralized their deck. And yes, they then wasted us, but you know, my partially functioning deck is a lot better than their one, which is completely inoperable. So we win, and I'll see you for round 2. Okay, so welcome to round 2. This is our opener. I did powder away some stuff a moment ago, and talked for 3 or 4 minutes, and then realised I wasn't recording. So there we go. We're up against Montodio, who's mulligan to 5. Don't know what they're on. Haven't seen them in the streets in a while, so that's quite cool to see them back in here. Yeah, so they've got a bit of range. Bizarre Bug Shops is typically where I would expect them to be. Mulliganing to 5 makes me think Bizarre, or they just know that they're up against Bizarre. They've mulliganed to go and find something. That's roughly where I think their range mostly lies. That, though, is an Urza's Saga. So maybe it's like a shops list. Mox Pearl. I still don't have Force of Will open. And then Thorn of Amethyst. That's fine. Saga's an issue. Saga's a big issue. Bang on time for the prized amalgam. Let's play Bazaar. And then let's grief pitching Shambling Shell, I think. Actually, I've got so many dredges, I can probably just activate Bazaar first, right? I'm so flush for everything. So let's activate Bazaar first, I think. Let's discard Amalgam, Thug, Shell. Let's grief pitching Shell. Expecting to see Wasteland from the opponent here. So mulligan to 5, yeah, Wasteland Strip Mine. Alright. Seems good. And then we'll cast a Hollow One. So we can't produce mana game 1, so all the cards in our hand are dead. The Bazaar of Baghdad is dead. Saga ticks up to 2. So we're on slow dredge for the rest of this game. If they Wasteland us, their Saga doesn't do anything, but it does go and get some graveyard hates. We need to hope that all these creatures are in play before their Saga resolves. Yeah, Workshops is always like the bane of Bazaar of Baghdad. They play the Wasteland. I assume they're going to waste us and come off the Saga. No, they're going to try and resolve the Saga. Okay, interesting. So let's, I guess, get to work and dump as much power as possible. Golgari Thug, Stinkweed Imp. That's a chill. I need a Narc though. Oof, brutal. So Imp. How do you play this? Imp Thug Noxious? No, Imp Thug Narc, I think. I'm going to chill the opponent here. That's quite nice. And then we're going to dredge a Stinkweed Imp again. We really want an Narcomoeba here. Yeah, we hit one. Cool. So the Amalgam's going to come back. So if they do go and get like a Soul Guide Lantern or what have you, it's not going to be so devastating on us. Although their creatures are going to be thick. And we are 4 cards away, or 5 cards away from discarding to hand size. So it's a long road home if they spellbomb us. But we haven't milled any other Bazaars. So there's that. Opponent falls to 10. We get an amalgam back into play. But they're going to go token, spell bomb. Or token cage, I guess, is also an option. And that's really problematic, actually. Cage, yeah. Main deck cage. Narcomoebas have got some work to do. Or one Narcomoeba. Now they're going to strip mine the Bazaar to prevent future hollow ones. And we just on draw steps? Or are we on dredge steps? I guess we still dredge, right? Because we're so much better at finding bridges. And we've got multiple of those. Opponent's got 2 cards. Why do they have so many cards in hand? So in comes a construct. We're going to take 5. We've been through 3 chills so far. The Ichorids can't do anything, so we're going to say no. But we do appreciate the offer from them. And I've got 2 bridges plus 1 chill left. So I think I'm just going to Stinkweed Imp and attack for 1 in the sky. No bridges there. Opponent falls to 9. What else have they got? Mox Jet. Mox Jet makes a Chalice on 0. That's fine. Can I try and cast cards? No, I just can't cast cards. So if opponent gets in for 7, we're going to fall to 14 and just take it straight to the face. Our Ichorids are going to trigger and we're going to once again decline the Ichorids. And now we're going to dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Right, there's a bridged chill. So I'd love to chill you. I'd love to play a Narc, but I don't know if I can. No. No, I attack. Yeah, I think I've got to slay with everything. We get in for 4. Opponent goes to 2. They block, we get a token back, and then we go around them next turn. Like, if they can make it to Golos at some point, then we die. But we get a bridge token here. Opponent falls to 2. This is a bunch of mana. That's a Sphere of Resistance. That doesn't look like it's going to do it. No cards in hand, and we kill them. Nice. So we squeeze one out versus Shops through the hate there. The chill doing just enough work as well. If they attack, we'll block. If they don't, yeah, no, cool. So no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. We'll dredge nothing. We probably just don't need to show him anymore, right? No cards in hand, no lifelink on board. Oh no, I'm only getting him for 1 at the moment, aren't I? So I do need to dredge again. I'm not very clever, sorry. Got 2 bridges though, so my amalgam turns into 2 tokens. And they have to block it. They can always draw a top. They can always top deck a Tabernacle, and that's going to be really problematic. Sorry, I thought I was getting in for 2, but I'm not getting in for 2. So now I'm comfortably going around them, and we win. Okay, so a little premature on my celebrations there, but so it goes. We need the vigors. We need the wastes. Where do we stand on the Flare of Malice? Doesn't look very good. Although they could have worm coil engines. I think that's a bit over the top. Sickening Shoal. No thank you. Leyline doesn't really do anything. Chalice I'm unsure about on the draw. Needle exists, so Misstep stays here. We saw main deck Cage there, right? So that's got to stay. I like the chills. I like the bridges. Force negate. All the blue permission I think I'm going to try and keep in the deck. So I think that means I'm going to try and cut griefs. I can always be quite aggressive and try and cut a thug. That puts me down to 11 dredges in my deck. Or we could just cut the therapies, actually. Yeah, they're spearing us, so let's cut the therapies. So what does that look like? Now that we've sorted by curve, because obviously that's relevant. Maybe a little low on dredges, but if we can get some permission going on the draw, by if we can get some permission going, I mean if we have permission on turn 1, that would be great. We've got a billion blue cards. We were really kind of hoping, when we come up against Andy, we were really hoping for the mirror match. The mirror match against, the 50-50 mirror is, I think, the best equity we have against his range, usually. But, see for game 2. Okay, so game 2 here, we're going to start off with a powder. And we've got Bazaar, we've got permission, we've got a Grave Troll, and we've got a Wasteland as well, so that's... Fuck. Can't counter that one. Okay, well, not ideal, but still we've got something to do. So we've got to counter all spheres, so that our Force of Vigor works. It's an Ancient Tomb. Basically a win condition for us. Okay. It's just a nice 7-card keep for the opponent. We've got to counter spheres. We've got to Wasteland Sagas. We've got to counter Needles. Shops is tough, man. Shops is really tough for us. We've got 4 Vigors to go and find. We've got to counter all the baubles so that our Vigors are still alive. Feels like a lot, doesn't it? It's just so much hate that they have. And some of it's like not hate, but it is just like, does indirectly just kill you. Like Sphere of Resistance is hate in a way because it protects the other hate stuff. So you've got to proactively counter that in order to remain having outs to get rid of the actual hate pieces. So 3 mana here. Nettle Cyst. Nettle Cyst is largely irrelevant. It's just large. So we'll let that one go. So we want to be fighting over things that matter. The best card for us to draw here is Force of Vigor. Obviously. I think. No, never lucky. Okay. So we'll play our Bazaar and we'll activate it and we'll say goodbye to some things. Holy hell, that was bad. So I don't want Icarid. I don't want Shell and I don't want Amalgam. Is that right? Does that make sense? Icarid, Amalgam. So that means I've got a good Dredger for later. I've got a pitch card for Force of Will. Got a pitch card for Force of Vigor, and I've got to go Grave Troll. Also, maybe the Thug can go, actually. Keep Grave Troll, keep Shell, keep 2 Amalgams. Yeah, that looks way better. So the Thug can go, we'll pass the turn back. This looks tough. Expecting Wasteland from the opponent, because they play so many. And I typically always just expect Wasteland from our opponents. So yeah, they're going to waste our Bazaar. Unless they feel like they've got something particularly great to do. Mox Pearl comes in. They've got 2 cards left, so things are like reducing down, right? They're going to strip me. I'm going to be on top decks, but they're low on the old gasoline up here. So if we do draw the Vigor, and this is their only resolved threat, and Leyline is their only resolved hate piece, we're then in some sort of slow, deadly battle, where they're definitely favoured, but we're at least playing the game. Where opponent's thinking so hard, you've got to think that they're on, am I paying 5 mana for Golo sort of thing. Sphere. So I have got this Wasteland. I'm actually going to let the Sphere go, because I've got the Wasteland to play my forces through the Sphere. If they play another Sphere, then yeah, that was not great. They stripped me, we expected it. I've got no plays. They attack for 5. Vigor? No. Okay. We'll pass back. I didn't want to expose this Wasteland to Wasteland, but now I feel like I should have. Another Nettle Cyst. So, opponent's going to punch us really hard this turn. They're on 1 card in hand. We need the Vigor right now. And we miss. Okay, so we'll go to the next game. I'm going to bring the Grease back in on the play. I think distressingly I'm going to trim some flares. So flare can go. Flare can go. Flare can go. Is that good? How many blue cards is that? Much more in tune with like how it usually is then, I guess, right? Doesn't feel like a lot of blue cards. The Grease are so good on the play anyway. Is that 14 blue cards? I still need another cut. I'm going to cut a Thug. Yeah, cool. Let's submit this so that we can make space for the Griefs on the play. We need Vigor, really. We'll mulligan down to 6 here. We've got a Bazaar. We don't have a Vigor. We've got a Misstep for Needle. We've got a Noxious for a Bazaar of Baghdad. Bridge and Thug are good. I'll put back Wasteland in a moment, I think. Wrong button. Keep this bottom Wasteland. Montolion 7 again. Good God. And a Leyline as well. Brutal. Leyline, Leyline, Leyline? Holy shit. That's not cool, is it? Okay. Let's go find ourselves a hollow one then, I guess. No. So let's just drop Chill, Thug, Bridge. We're exceptionally dead. I don't know if you guys needed to be told that, to be honest with you. And a Wasteland as well. 100%. Yeah. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. Okay, so we need to find 2 Vigors. And then not die. Then we find Bazaar. And then we kill them. Sounds like we are a long way from home, if I'm honest with you. At least we've got Strip Mine for that one. So we're not dying too quickly. Creeping Chill couldn't be further from the truth. Three ley lines in the opener. Opponent's got an Academy. Academy doesn't tap for mana. Back to us. Do we just waste Academy? Straight up? Just bang. I don't think so. I think it's supposed to wait for Saga. This is going to be potentially a very long game. Yeah. 2 Vigors. a Bazaar, and don't die on the way through. Wow. Okay, cool. So both players doing nothing for the time being. Not really much to commentate on. We know our route to victory. We know it's pretty slim odds. I'm still going to hold this Wasteland. Wasteland Sagas. We might just Wasteland Workshops and shit as well, just to try and slow the bleeding. Figure, please. It's a Force of Will, so we'll just discard Chill this turn, I think. And I'll probably deploy the Wasteland on the turn where I decide that all my cards have text, but, you know. Cool. You've got to assume that Montolio's got a Strip or a Waste in hand as well. Well, no, because they wouldn't be going to hand size, would they? They would just discard it. Discarded the 4th ley line, so they are doing me some favours over there at least. That's an Amalgam. I'm going to pitch a Stinkweed Imp, I think. So I really don't want this Wasteland to get wasted. Any of them Vigors going? Inventor's Fair. So that is a mana producing land. The first one this game's seen in quite a while. Stinkweed Imp. Cool. And we might be at a point where we have to like counter shit stuff like Nettle Cyst and like the bad cards in their deck so that we remain alive. Like we might, yeah. So opponent on cleanup, they discard a Wormcoil Engine. We'll just discard the Icarid. And this is going to be a thing where at some point we're going to have to take stock of once we've killed all their ley lines and once we've not died and blah blah blah, how do we actually convert that into a game victory? Opponent's upkeep. So and then hopefully they miss. It's a good chance I'm supposed to be just like wasting this Inventor's Fair. But they play so many Moxen. There's a Workshop, right? That may have to go. I just don't want to counter that. Just don't want to. Their academy's alive now. Ugh. Yeah, I think this is this Workshop draw is the turn that the game ends, sort of thing. Another Patchwork. They can have it. So no 2-mana plays in their deck there. Another Amalgam. We're up against a clock now, so maybe this was all horrific. Let's just kill the Workshop. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to counter at least one of those. Probably the first one. The Tolarian Academy's online. And Leyline's always really funny out of the Workshop decks, because you're already so far behind that it's an interesting, like, point that they still they still dedicate sideboard side, like that aggressive sideboard slots to us. So they're going to get us for 5 here. And we're like 3 pieces away from being good. That's a grief. I don't know how I'm ever converting this at this point. Now that they've got the clock going. I could have griefed there, but what are we achieving? Another Crucible, sure. So we're going to have to X1 from here. They play a Workshop. And a Nettle Cyst. And then it hit us for 9, and now we're just actually dead. Right, well, top deck Bazaar into Hollow on Force. Vigor, Leyline, Vigor, Nettle Cyst, block. You have no spells? That's a lot to ask for. It's an Archimeber. Cool, let's go to round 3, I'll see you there. Okay, so round 3 we're up against Mini Taste, who I think's most recently been on Dredge as well, but I don't think they had the best day out, so they might have mixed it up. Okay, our opponent's arrived. We've got a Powder hand. Whoop. And a Bizarre hand with something that would be better as a Force of Negation. We're on the draw again, which seems unfair. I haven't won a die roll yet today. I wonder if that's relevant in Magic's most powerful format. Okay, so we look good to have a Flare online for their turn 3. It's just whether that's too slow, right? It is a mirror match. They are back in the streets of Baghdad, gaming their life away. Double Dredger Therapy is the pitch from them. Now it's over to us. We've got a Force of Will, so that sounds nice. So activate Bazaar. We've got Grief, Thug. Grief and Thug. So we can discard Icarus, Stinkweed, Amalgam. Yeah, I think that's the pitch. That's it, right? And then we pitch Grief, pitch Thug to Grief. Get rid of their Noxious Revival. Powder, Negation, Narc, Shell. Well, we'll just take the negation. It's not doing anything against us, but we'll take it anyway. And now I've got a Hollow One, so that's exciting. They've got a second Bazaar. Not particularly on board with that, if I'm honest with you. They're going to dump infinite cards. They've got a bridge. They've got a chill. I want my graveyard to go away. Another chill, is that? Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Second Bazaar. Opponent kind of going off here. But the beautiful thing about this is that they don't have any creatures in play. And I have an Icarid. So we know their hand complete air, so we can kind of try our best and get to work. Let's put their graveyard away and get our one out. And dredge a Stinkweed Imp. And a Stinkweed Imp. And then we'll discard Narc, Imp, Imp. We're going to eat a Grief with our Icarid. That's going to trigger 2 Amalgams. We'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp again. We'll chill them. We're going to kill their bridge if they had one. Yeah, they did. Do we care about therapying them? Not really. So let's attack. We can therapy ourselves. Doesn't look like it does anything though. Actually, gets my good dredger back into my graveyard, right? It doesn't make another token, so I'm not at all sacrificing this Hollow One. But I'm so good at finding another dredger, so I think I'm just going to leave it. I can't think of a reason why we'd want to sacrifice. Oh no, it doesn't matter, right? I should put Stinkweed in back in the graveyard. I don't think I want to yield to all the triggers, actually. I'm going to therapy myself and name the card in my hand, Stinkweed Imp. Oh, Stickweed Imp. So... Right, so we're going to get 2 amalgams back. Their bridges are dead. Our bridges are going to die as well. They've got 2 Icarids, which is quite a high number of Icarids. And then they failed to find another bridge from below. I wonder if they'll go for a therapy on me. Because if they do, we can do the same thing as last time and flare them. So the Icarids come in, so we're not going to get to flare them. So I think I have to block, right? How many chills have you used? 3 chills, 1 still missing. Yeah, I'll block. I'm going to lose my bridges this turn anyway. And this just gains a bit of life on the way through. They don't have any bridges, but they might be going to find them now. We've got 17 cards left in deck. We've got 28. I don't know why we wouldn't be activating Bazaar here if a few of them. Okay, well they're not activating it. Interesting. They just think they've got enough. Enough in the tank. Well, they're not activating it so that they can get around my bridge, my Icarid dying next turn. I continue to only have 1 Icarid. Not perfect. This is the graveyard today. We'll dredge Stinkweed Imp. We'll dredge Stinkweed Imp. That's a chill and a Narcomoeba. Did we hit our other bridge? Nope. Did I exile my other bridge earlier? Nope. They've got 3 amalgams. I'd like Narcomoeba. I'm going to get another amalgam back as well, which is pretty darn neat, really. Grief can go. Amalgam triggers. Stinkweed Imp back to hand. 2 more Narcomoebas. No more Icarids, no more bridges. Oh no, 1 more Icarid. 2 more Icarids. Okay, cool. Narcomoeba's going to do a good blocking job. I'm going to attack them for a bunch of damage. And they're going to Dredge Bazaar in response. They hit a Creeping Chill. Oh, they're going looking for their bridge now, I see. They found it. That was cute. So I'll get 2 tokens from this. They'll take 6. Their bridge will die. But do they have enough to go around it all? That's the question, right? I guess they're going to be close. Oh, they have triple Icarid? Yeah, fuck, I'm dead. Quadruple Icarid and I die. Alright then. So maybe I'm not supposed. Maybe I don't have an attack there. Fuck me. Did I mess that up completely? I think I might have. So, Leyline of the Void, Force of Vigor, blah blah. I think the flares can go. I think the therapies are questionable. Well, I liked the flares last time out, didn't I? No. Did I keep them in? I can't remember. That looks like it didn't keep them in. Flare of Malice is interesting. We kill their Icarid, but we can also kill their bridges. And I think this is probably our best configuration, especially on the play. I don't know what I did last time. Will mulligan. Leyline powder. And we'll go to 5. And we'll keep this. And put 2 chills on the bottom of our deck. And we'll pray that they don't have leyline. Opponent begins the game with 7 cards in hand. Or 6 cards in hand, sorry. So chill to the bottom. You got the leyline over there, bro? No. Cool. Okay, so that's good news, I guess, to start with. And we'll discard Bridge Thug, and then grief them. That sounds really bad. That's both my bridges. No, I'm going to do it anyway. Bridge Thug, grief you. And then a hope and a prayer. Wasteland Bazaar of Baghdad, Stinkweed Imp Thugs. Cool. So we'll just take the Icarid. We get 2 bridge tokens. But Icarid triggers, but they can't use it. And then just wastelanding us is going to win the game. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you got to wasteland my Bazaar and then you win. It's a very simple recipe. There we go. Unfortunate that their hand was just a lot better than ours, right? But so let's play a Thug. And we hit nothing. We didn't even hit another Dredger. Wow. So we're going to go down to 1-2. Dude. That's distressing. So opponent's got an Icarid. They play Bazaar. And this is just where the game ends here, I think. Icarid, Stinkweed Imp. So my bridge is going to die next turn anyway. Tough beats. So yeah, grief is to beat the... is to make sure our Vigor's going to get through post board. And now they just go off. Yeah. We're going to take 6. Our bridges are going to leave the game. They've got therapy as well. They could therapy a Thug. That would be cool. Nah, nothing. So bridge dies. We draw a Stinkweed Imp. I think we'll attack for 4 once more. At some point we've got to block... oh, I didn't realize they'd hit another Icarid. Maybe I should pay attention. Maybe. No chills from the opponent. Maybe they took them out. I don't know, I quite like the chills. I think they're good reach. They did find a bridge though, which is problematic. So what can we even Bazaar into in this spot? We're going to take 9. Yeah, cool. I'll take my draw step, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. This last attack was probably bad, but I don't think we're winning anyway. Amalgam comes in, they get 3 tokens. We're at 5. We don't have any way to stop the onslaught. Nope. Cool. See you for round 4. Ooh. Okay, round... I don't know. We're on the play. We've won a die roll up against Epionu number 8. The 8th of their name. And we've got a Bazaar on a mulligan to 6. We're going to bottom probably just the powder here. Like a Narcomoeba at the bottom of our deck doesn't really do anything, does it? So if we bottom the powder, at least we can draw into Force of Will, and we'll have a Narc to pitch to that later. Or we can discard it and Noxious it, and then that will turn on our flare quite quickly. But that's a pretty aggressive use of Noxious Revival, right, when we can be out there getting wastelanded. Although 2 Noxious Revivals is a different story. Opponent mulligan to 6 also. Let's see if we're up against Dredge again. I don't know where today's gone wrong, to be honest with you. I'm not sure, but we are pretty dead in the tournament. I think I'm going to give it this round to see if we can improve on that. We've got a Lotus. Not a massive fan, to be honest with you. Not a massive fan of Lotus. And Probe, okay. Okay. Do they have a Wasteland? And can they beat double Revival with their Wasteland? I think the flares are good. I think I'm going to play the flares more. And... Oh, Oath of Druids. Earth of Druids? They're floating green. It doesn't sound particularly fantastic for us. And they've got an Oath. And a Time Walk. Good grief. Okay. That was a pretty decent opening hand for the opponent there. We had no way of playing around that just yet. Let's see what they oath into first of all. We'll get the black flares in this round, which will be fun. So it's a very long way into main deck Serra's Emissary. How do they still have 51 cards in their deck? Also 21 then a Gaia's Blessing trigger. Main deck Emissary is really interesting. Ashiok main deck? What's happened? What's happened to our format? We can't beat that at all, can we? Not in the main, no. Okay. Serra's Emissary in the main deck, that's wild. So let's bring in the flares. Let's keep the Chalice in and bring in some Vigors. I think we're going to drop a Thug. I'm going to drop the Therapies and I'm going to drop the Bridges. And then what else do we want to cut? We have to cut one of these. I guess just a Grief. That's really bad. That's really bad. Let's cut a Chill. That's also really bad. I'm going to cut an Icarid. Because if they do resolve a Flare... Oh, but Icarid's my Flare thing. No, I'm happy with that. So if they do resolve an Emissary, then... Creeping Chill can go around it, you know? Okay. This hasn't gone well. If that Flare of Denial was a Force of Negation, it would have gone better. We would have had Force of Negation in hand. We don't know what their hand was. This is an interesting build of Oath. Ashiok main deck is concerning. Sarah's Emissary main deck is no longer relevant, to be honest. And then they had a Tinker House package as well. So there's that. That's that, really. Okay, so game 2. No Bazaar here. We've got a Bazaar. We've got possibly a Force of Will. We've got a green card for Vigor. We'll keep this and we'll bottom the Chill. The opponent does not have a ley line, which is good. We need a blue card, please. And we get one. So let's discard Troll, Icarid. And we'll cast Chalice on 0. If the opponent fights it, I'll probably let it go. They did not fight it. Cool. But we've now got a Force to work with. If we untap with Bazaar, they do play Strip and Boseiju, but if we untap with Bazaar, we'll have triple Icarid. Oh, there's a Saga in your Oath of Druids deck. Interesting. So we force the needle. That seems to get through. And now they probe us. I've got no more plays. So we get 2 Icarids back this turn. And then we can hope the Chills do the rest. So Troll, Stinkweed Imp. 1, 2, 3. If I get Ravenous trapped, I'm going to scream. And by scream, I mean I'm just going to drop the tournament and go do something else. No, we don't get trapped, so we chill them. We eat a Grief. And we eat a Thug by the looks of things. Dredge a Grave Troll. Bunch of Amalgam triggers. And we attack. Crunch. So the Amalgams all happen, and then they're dead to the Icarids next turn. And that's before we take into account the Amalgams. And any further Chills that I can hit. So Chalice of the Void is doing the Lord's work here. And if they go Island, Walk, and they've just got another Saga. So Sensei's top. Takes a look with the top, but that's not really going to do anything because they're now tapped out and we've got a Chalice, so they can't get back into mana. And I'm not going to show them anymore. I'm just going to pick up my cards, pick up my Icarids, and then attack. So Shambling Shell can go. Shambling Shell can go. And a Stinkweed Imp can go. And now we'll Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Hit Chillin and Archimever. Opponent's exceptionally dead. And then we'll attack for more than 6. Okay. So that went a bit better. Not really much in terms of play there. Just counter your hate piece and kill you. But that's kind of what we're here for, right? Do I want Wastelands if they're on Sagas? On the draw, we could drop Chalice. Might just have a strip mine. Yeah, I'm gonna submit that. I'm gonna submit that. So we'll mulligan by the looks of things. Now we'll powder, and we'll hide the flare. And now we'll go to 5. And we'll keep this hand, and we'll bottom Creeping Chill, Narcomoeba. Pass the turn. I would accept that I'm supposed to keep the Narcomoeba and bottom the Hollow One. I actually prefer that a lot more now that we're at this point in the game. So Trop, Jet. Yeah, that was awful. We should have just kept force blue card, force blue card. That was kind of obvious. So a bunch of cards and then a pass of the turn. Let's play and activate. Paying costs, say Ancestral himself. What happens if we force this? What happens if we force this? They struggle to win? I don't know, I'm going to force it. If I hit another blue card, I'm not afraid of coming off this Hollow One, to be honest with you. I do hit another one. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to discard my Hollow One. Keep up force blue card. As I wish I'd done earlier anyway. And we can slow dredge as well, like dredge draw, like skip our upkeeps, dredge draw step, activate Bazaar, and that keeps us on force blue card. There's a Saga's pretty much fine, I think. And then they just pass, okay. They're not doing a lot. We'll just draw. Dredge a troll. Activate. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. And Golgari Thug. Discard the rest. Now they are going to get their Saga tokens going. And then I should be able to punt in a bunch of damage, right? There should be a bunch of power coming at them soon. I've got one Icarid, I've got an Amalgam coming in. I think we can go round 2 Saga tokens. They're at 17. Maybe I don't have enough. So Icarid's going to happen. We'll eat a grief. Amalgam's going to happen. We're going to do the same thing, and we're just going to try and only lose to this Saga and not to anything they've got in hand. Dredge Grave Troll. Narcomoebas and Creeping Chills are quite tech, to be honest with you. Let's activate with those on the stack, I think. Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. This is another Amalgam. No more Icarids. Let's dredge Stinkweed Imp. Still no more Icarids. We're going to get our Amalgams back before their hate comes along. So we can chill them now. And then triple Amalgam them. Ravenous Trap me. Force of Will you. Do you have more? Do you have permission behind? They need Tabernacle next turn. I get triple Amalgam trigger. I've now got no more plays. I'm going to attack for 3 anyway, because that just all doesn't matter. It's just what their saga target is, right? There's 2 chills there. There's no more chills there, so yeah, they make a 4/4, but we already knew they were doing that. I'm not confident. Oh, like we've got a bunch of power, but they've just got another saga token coming, and then they've got their hate piece off the saga as well. So if it's like a spell bomb or something, it's gonna be hard for us to live longer than with their mana crypt. They're activating saga upkeep, which is weird. They take the hit, which is nice. I don't think I'm blocking with Narcomoeba. There's 2 Icarids in my graveyard at the moment, but very good chance our graveyard's about to go away. I think we bottomed a chill, so there's a chill 15 cards away, or 14 cards away, one of those 2. Interesting opener from them to roll out the mana crypt when they didn't need to. I wonder if they had something else in hand that they were hoping to get from us. Holding the Force of Will all that time's panned out really well. Because, yeah, to beat that trap. They've got a Needle, which doesn't really do anything. I've only got 15 cards left, so I think we can comfortably beat a Needle at this stage, unless they've just drawn their hate piece. So that's a Forbidden Orchard. How many Icarids do I have? I've got 2 Icarids. It's got to be enough, right? Well, they can hardcast a Ravenous Trap, so... There's 1 Flare of Malice there. Oh, there's 2 Flare of Malices there. There's 1 Noxious. So I've got 1 Noxious left. I haven't got 3 Noxious left. I've got 1 Noxious left. So I think I'm just going to pick up these guys. What does that do? Pick up. I attack you for 10 and then I'm hitting a chill. Yeah, I think that looks great. Let's Dredge a Grave Troll. No chills. The crackback is how much? 12 plus 2 cards in hand? Yeah, no. You're not my dad, I'm going in. Opponent goes to 1. So we just have like a lethal Narcomoeba. Paying costs. Nature's Claim. Okay, Nature's Claim Mana Crypt, sure. Nature's Claim being in their deck's interesting. Is it for spots like this? I mean, they're dead again next turn, right? So we can dredge Stinkweed Imp and then dredge Thug, and that would be Xaxes Academy. Alright, you've got some mana, and you've got 1 card to use it on. They definitely can't attack. But Triple Icarid's going to kill them anyway. So let's eat Shambling Shell. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. And then we'll be able to be exact with our chill if we need to. I don't think we need to, but Stinkweed Imp misses. Yeah, so we've got 4 cards and we've got a Thug next turn if they are somehow alive at the end of this turn. It's good that they don't have any graveyard hate off of their Pithing Needle, otherwise that would have been a lot harder. And we win the match. Okay, well, we will keep playing then. Wild Oath build. It makes it a bit harder to play, right, when your opponent's on like the non-stock versions. I like the Ravenous Trap sideboard card. I think index that see a lot of cards. I think that's great. Yeah, we were just able to get it through there. So yeah, cool. We will move on to round 5. Okay, round 5, we're up against Chutin. We're on the play. And we've got the nuts. Okay, no dredges, but close enough. So how do we play? So I guess it can be like activate, discard the Grave Troll and the Stinkweed Imp that we draw. Cast Hollow One, cast Chalice. Protect neither. That's what I think. I don't know what our opponent plays. I don't know what they are playing. So we'll just see how it goes. We've got to hold the Amalgam this turn unless we draw a Narcomoeba. Okay, opponents arrived. They're usually a mono-white gamer. That Bazaar doesn't look in play. It looks like a generous amount of lag. There we go. Thank you. So we can drop an Amalgam now. And I guess we can drop a Powder and a Therapy. Now we can draw to Grief with this other Creeping Chill because we're going to be taking card draws next turn. They did reveal a Chancellor. So what's more important against mono white? Hollow One or Chalice of the Void? I don't know the answer to that question. So the issue is if we get wastelanded, right? So if we go Hollow One that gets countered Chalice, you then waste us. Everyone's a million miles away from doing anything, but I haven't discarded a Dredger. Because if I play Chalice, I can still counter a Mox. But I never counter a Mox, I always counter the payoff. And just, if they have an uncounterable land, whatever that's called, then I just die. That's typically my approach. Just Chalice or Hollow One? I guess Hollow One can get countered because it just gets outgrown so quickly by the White Plume guy. Now we'll kill all of their Moxen and pass the turn. So opponent's turn 1, they mulligan to 6 to get their hand. And we get wasted, yeah. So now it's back to us. We draw Stinkweed Imp and pass back. So that's good, that's a Dredger for next time in the future, if we're able to get to that point. That's an Ancient Tomb. Another Creeping Chill, brutal. Cavern of Souls, okay, sure. Meaning Cleric. That's a White Plume Adventurer, which we can't counter. This doesn't look good, does it? If we're honest. Would it be any better if we had a Hollow One in play? Hard to say. I think we're going to be slightly too slow without top decking Bazaar next turn. I wonder if I did just kill myself though. Seasoned Dungeoneer can't resolve, so then I have to top deck Bazaar. Well, I had to top deck Bazaar anyway, so maybe I can just let that go. Yeah, no Dredger is kind of tough. We're taking 10 next turn. Our opponent's still at 5 cards. We draw an Icarid. Cool, we die. Next game. That decision is tough. So Vigors, Wastelands, Flares and Shoals. That's what we're going to try and bring in. See how it goes. Misstep can go. Negation can go. Force of Will can go. I do want to try the Flares, but I think we're just going to pitch them all away. So that leaves 2 cuts. So I'm just going to cut the therapies. So Wastelands for Tabernacles. Removal spells for creatures. And whatever the other card was I bought in. Vigors for Leylines. And Vigors for Moxen. So looks like we're going to do a lot of the old mulliganing here. Oh, I'm just going to crash our computer. Perfect. So what was this? Was this a 5 or a 6? Two Ichorids is kind of brutal. 2 Vigors will be brutal if they then lane line us, right? Yeah, the tougher end of the beat stick today. This matchup's favoured for us though, usually. Maybe I played the game one wrong, missing on a dredger is kind of unlucky. Put a card on the bottom. I'm just going to bottom a Sickening Shoal. Keep as many answers to Containment Priest as we can. There we go, so we'll keep this. Now we'll play Bazaar. We'll grief our opponent. Take a look. Witch Enchanter, Vexing Bauble, Chrome Mox, Wasteland, Thalia. Do any of these cards do anything? Let's take the Vexing Bauble. And then we can blow up a bunch of stuff later. I can't blow up a bunch of stuff later, can I? Because of fucking Thalia. So what if I just discard everything and then take Thalia? Then I get wasted. So... oh, this is too hard. My brain hurts. So I can take Thalia, and that leaves them with Wasteland, Mox. I think that sounds good to me. I'm just trying to work out what I want to keep. I guess I want to keep the shell in my deck. Or in play. And then grease them again. Although now I've played all my spells. There's something better to take. Well, how big is this? It's a 2/2. Seems kind of irrelevant. I could just take Chrome Mox, slow them down a bit. Doesn't really slow them down, does it? I took out my therapies as well, didn't I? Yeah. So Thalia is actually irrelevant. Let's just take Chrome Mox. We'll pass. So I did a lot of stuff there, none of which I'm convinced about, all of which I'm unsure I'm happy with. Vexing Bauble made sense because we didn't know about the other grief at that point, and we were going to vigor them. Then drawing the other grief meant that we could take the Thalia, and then instead we took their white source. Let's dredge a Grave Troll. Hit Narcomoeba, chill. Which means we've got no chill. No, we've got 1 chill left. Narcomoeba's pretty cool. I have a question. If I wasteland a Witch Enchanter land, does it kill my bridges? So Thalia comes into play, but Thalia is not really doing anything. Dredging a shell, and we've got no dredges left. Hit another chill, but we hit a Stinkweed Imp as well, so that's good. Opponent's life total decreases. We attack. They go to 10. And we know their hand is double disenchant creature land. We've hit Stinkweed Imp, which I'm kind of excited about. They've named Cleric. If they pass the turn here, we're dead to Containment Priest. Nope. They get him for 2, but we're on 29, so largely irrelevant. Stinkweed Imp will be the dredge this turn, and we're just like living by the skin of our teeth at this point. There's a Narcomoeba which is going to bring back 2 amalgams, which means they can't attack us because we'll get bridge tokens back. And we should at that point be pretty gravy. We hit a single shell. So this has gone well. It's just not been obvious to me that it's been going well, you know? It's close. We can definitely still lose. We need them to hit. We need them to just play Witch Enchanter again, I think. But 2 amalgams returning to play is an amount of game I'm on board with. I wonder what opponent was hoping from this hand though, because it's just Wasteland, right? Like the Bauble doesn't. I don't know how much the Bauble affects us in this deck. Well, White Plume, so I'm gonna get the initiative as well. Can you attack here? No. Okay. And they play a Plains, and we know they're holding another one of these things. So we'll dredge a Shambling Shell. And we have now missed on dredges. So what, we can won them? We get the initiative. Oh, my deck is small. 3 Bazaars though. So we've got the initiative. They can't get the initiative back. Their creatures are tiny. Seems good. Seems good for the home team. And like if they attack with Thalia, we can chump block with Narc, and then we'll get our token before their stuff dies. They play a Mox Pearl, and they've got a Witch thing. Yep, that can't be countered. Do you want your initiative back? No, no interest in it. Okay. Well, I will Lost Well. Lost Well for Bazaar. Sounds good. Forge onto a Narc. Kills them next turn, so that seems, you know, a hell of a lot better, doesn't it? Who needs Lost Well? Who needs the Lost Well? We'll hold on to a Shambling Shell. How many cards I got? 19. Cool. Attack with this guy. They're at 5. We currently have the initiative, and if we ever get the initiative back again, they die. Cool. Well, do we want permission on the draw? Do we want misstepping against Bauble? think we're cruising. Turn 1 bauble could be an issue if they've got that backed up with some more hate, but what they had that game wasn't particularly close to a relevant hand of cards, right? This is also a sort of hand that looks like it's going to completely fade a bauble up until the point that Containment Priest comes into play. So planes, Vexing Bauble, sure. Second Bazaar. I'll go with double Icarid. Now, if they follow this up with a Containment Priest, we do lose. That's a Wasteland. You gonna waste me? Yep. So the Icarids won't come back this turn. They would have if we had Bazaar of Baghdad, but there's a Creeping Chill. And then no other dredges. Huh. This has gone poorly. Let's just discard all the Stinkweed Imps. The opponent can't play Moxen, can they? And I believe we are now cold to Containment Priest. And this is where the power of Vexing Bauble comes in. Is protecting the other hate pieces. So Ancient Tomb. I wonder if I can get away with one here. Now I'm going to Dread in response, I think. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. Imp Shell. Eat the shell. All the amalgams trigger. The bridges are going to go off as well. We'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. So I just kind of like fucked around a bit with sequencing then to try and get an idea of if they had a Containment Priest and stuff. So I just resolved one of my Icarids first, which would force them to do something. I was about to complain about I don't know where all my chills are. Where are they all? But they're actually just all in my hand. So opponent's going to fall to 11. They plough our kid, that's fine. They're going to fall to 14 then. And there's not really much we can do against the bauble other than just turn our deck over and pray that they don't have those pieces of hate, right? We've only actually got one chill left in our list as well, which is upsetting. But we have assembled a board presence. It's a Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. So I'm going to... Can I pick up Icarid? What have I got? I've got Thug and 2 Imps. So yeah, I can eat the Imp, can't I? Yeah, I'm gonna eat the Thug, sorry. Have you got a Priest? This is going to be one of those things as well where it's very hard for them to get through as long as we're able to loop these creatures around. Priority is currently on the opponent. We are just one piece of hate away from losing. So yeah, interesting stuff with the bauble in play, right? Is that yes, I would have had a hollow one. Oh, there's a shell there. That's perfect. Now dredge and response, I guess. No, I should probably want my amalgams to come back. So maybe I stacked poorly. Yeah, I think I stacked my things poorly. I think I wanted my amalgams to come back into play. You know, Fate Bazaar. I've got 28 cards. Yeah, cool. There's a chill and 2 narcs. No, there's not a chill. There's just 2 narcomoebas. The imps can go away. I'll bring the narcomoebas in because they're going to create blockers. How many Icarids do we have in our deck? There's none in my graveyard at the moment. There's only one in exile, so they're all just hiding. Like, I could do with them coming out to play, to be honest with you. So that's another Icarid, at least one. Another Narcomoeba is another load of zombies to block with. Opponent's at 11. Will attack. 3. Do they have more plows? We're sending them to 8, and then next time we'll be sending them to 2, and then after that it's... So, yeah, it's going to kind of depend on if they find the Containment Priest or not. I don't currently have any thoughts on how else we're supposed to play this other than kill them as fast as possible. There's 2 Icarids in our graveyard. A Containment Priest ends it. 2, 3. All of our wastelands have gone, so Thalia doesn't even turn on any silver smoke ghouls or anything like that because we can't get back into mana. Opponent's paying costs, which I don't particularly love. Yeah. Tenuous position. Status quo favours us, but they've got 4 cards that kill us. So, depends on how that goes. All of the plows buy a turn. I'd like to find my final Icarid as well. I wonder what's in their hand. I guess they can't deploy an initiative threat, right? Because that just kills them. Containment Priest. Shit. I can't win now, can I? How do I win from here? All of my wastelands have gone. I played 2, right? I only played 2 wastelands. Yeah, 2 wastelands and straight mine have all gone, so I can't cast spells and I can't attack our opponent. All my chills have gone. They've got a basic planes. Yeah, no, we're dead. Okay. So it goes. They win the match. So we're now 2 and 3, which I'm not particularly pleased with. But I'll see you for the final round. Okay, 6th round, last round. We're up against Crazy Morango, who I can't see any results for, but we will keep this hand, which is very good. They had like a result at like the beginning of May on Lurus, but that doesn't really mean anything. No Lurus revealed, which is interesting, the new world that we live in. We've got 3 pretty easy discards here, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can pick up anything else on the way through. So I think Icarid Thug make the most sense to me. Or Icarid Thug. Yeah. And then we'll cast a hollow one, again not protecting the hollow one on the way down. That just gets through. But it's only halfway down. Oof. He made it in. Well done, hollow one. What an exciting journey that was. Opponent's turn 1. No Lurus. Another bizarre matchup. A Grief. Yeah, sure, whatever. They'll take my Force of Will or my Powder. I presume Force of Will. And then we'll get to do the whole thing. No bizarre activation with the Grief on the stack, so there's no bridges over there. Thug Imp. Okay, well this is our graveyard. We've got 2 Icarid triggers at the moment and just 1 Thug to work with. So let's see how that goes first of all. Thug into Stinkweed Imp. Did they hit an Icarid? No. So let's just discard. What's in my graveyard? Grief. So let's discard Bridge. Amalgam Thug. And I can only eat 1 thing with the Grief. Oh no, I can eat 2 things. Yeah, I'm fine. So yes, chill you. Yes, make an Archimever. Icarid eats Grief. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to eat the Thug as well, sending us down to 1 Dredger in our yard, which is this here. Stinkweed Imp. Can we do something? And we hit an Archimever and another Stinkweed Imp. Perfect. So that looks like a lot of damage to me. We've got a Stinkweed Imp to keep the train going next turn. The Amalgam's going to come into play. Our opponent's not got very many life points, but they are going to be able to hit some chills this turn, which will be good for them. But I do get 4 tokens, and they cannot contest the Icarids this turn, the bridges this turn, without hitting some Narcomoebas and some therapies. This is the opponent's graveyard. This is the opponent's graveyard here. Amalgam Narc. Chill me. You're at 10. You haven't activated Bazaar. Interesting to not activate Bazaar there. I wonder what they're trying to protect. They've hit a therapy though. And 1 bridge. So that's going to do something. And they get some tapped amalgams. There's our end step. Oh, they just didn't therapy. Okay, that's weird. And then they concede. Cool. They're dead. Right. Vixen Wastelands. Fuck's sake. We're back. Vixen Wastelands. In Leyline of the Void. In Chalice can go. Force of Will can go. Flares and Negations can go. 2 therapies can go. So there we go. That's going to be our deck list for today. It's a shame we didn't really get to use the flares much today, but I think it is something I'm going to explore more. This hand is nonsense. And this hand is cracked. So we'll keep this. Bottom Powder. Do you have a ley line? Yeah, they do. So do I. Aren't we both so clever? So now it's who gets the Vigor first, right? Or the hollow ones first. But 2 hollow ones is the only relevant amount of hollow ones, because your hollow one dies to Vigor if the other person's got it. So not the only relevant amount, right? Like the hollow one's relevant until I find a Vigor. But 2 is a good amount of hollow ones at this point. Action is on our opponent. They kept 7. They just snapped off 7. And it's back to me. So no Bazaar over there. So let's go and activate Bazaar first. See if we can find something good to do. Not really. But I'm still going to grief our opponent here. Grief pitching. Yeah, I'm just going to grief pitching grief. And do they have the Vigor? We are about to find out. Yep. They pitched a Shambling Shell and then cast Force of Will. Okay. Cool. A whole lot of stuff. Over to them. Did they have the Bazaar on 7? No, they didn't have it. That's interesting. So it's strange to me that they then activated they then used their Force of Will, right? That doesn't make sense. To me, at least. Maybe they've got a good reason to do it, but it's also of note that they have got Force of Will in their deck. Don't need any of those. Oh, fuck it, I'm going to get rid of Wasteland. We're just trying to find Force of Vigor at this point. Force of Vigor or hollow ones I'd accept as well. There's a Vigor. Everything's getting pitched anyway, so... Do they have another Force of Will? Half my deck is gone. Nope. Do you have Bazaar yet? Nope. So let's activate our Bazaar on upkeep. There's the hollow one, no dredges. And we find an Icarid. They don't have a Wasteland. They're discarding to hand size next turn. We'll take a draw step first of all. I don't know why actually, that seems really bad. Yeah, because now when you flip the dredges, right? So they're discarding to hand size this turn, and we're getting into our graveyard with dredges, but we've only got 36 cards left in our deck. What have we lost in terms of kill conditions? 1, 2 chills, an amalgam, 0 Icarids. So actually we look like we're in real shape here. Not if we dredge like that though. Icarid, amalgam. What do they discard? They just discard a stink. I might eat an Icarid here. How many Icarids did I lose? None? Cool. I'm going to eat an Icarid. I'm going to dredge a Shambling Shell for our turn. That hit a bridge. Okay, so bridge is a pretty big game for us. Amalgam and bridge token in, Icarid out. Opponents at 16. They're dredging on slow dredges. And they hit nothing, but they're going to get to discard a Stinkweed Imp again. But now I've got 2 Shambling Shells and 29 cards. No, that's my exile pile. Right, massive amounts of regret then. I might discard. What are they on 16? Okay, let's think. 16. I can eat a Shambling Shell. No, that still doesn't bring it back, does it? So, what, attack them for 8 this turn and 8 next turn. So, Icarid eats Icarid again. Pretty aggressive on that side of things. Still missing on dredges. I think I just ate most of them earlier on. Opponent loses many life points. Icarid triggers, so they can probably just eat a shell to get rid of my bridge, yeah. but they're still going to be close to dead on board. Narcomover is going to do the Lord's work for them. They get him for 3. We won't block. Still no dredges. My bridge dies. 2 Ichorids have gone. Ichorid's now got a grief to eat. I hope that dude wasn't there last turn. Oh, we win the match. Okay. Cool. So we made it to a 3-3 record today. Which is probably going to be good enough to top 32. Not sure how I feel about how the day went. Beat Dredge, lost to Shops, lost to Dredge, beat Oath, lost to Mono White, beat Dredge. So a lot of mirror matches. I think it was interesting. It's a shame we were up against Dredge so much. We didn't really get to play around with the flare an awful lot. The Vexing Bauble out of Mono White looked irrelevant until the point where they played the second hate piece, right? So it's very good at protecting the hate. But before that, it wasn't irrelevant. Like, we could have developed a hollow one. We could have noxious some creeping chills, and we would have won if they didn't have it. But it's definitely not the be all or end all against Dredge. Like, yeah, if your plan is bauble you, play a white plume, I don't think that's going to do it. But anyway, a 3-3 record with the Flare of Denial Dredge list. I don't know. I don't think 3 is correct. I think this is supposed to be like another bridge or another therapy, maybe another force negation, maybe another thug. There's a few another noxious. There's a few slots in this deck that you can mess around with, but it was cool to play with it. The one application we got to do with it though was not even to do with the spell on the stack. Flare of Malice, I'm going to try some more as well. I think that's really interesting. But 3-3 record, not our best work, but certainly fine. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the future. I've got a few leagues with MH3 cards coming out soon, so see you soon.